Genki desu ka? Welcome to Ask Helen Live, and this week I'm answering the question, should I tell people my boundaries? And as you're listening to my answer on this, you can think about how this applies to your situation. So let me give you the background to this question, which was sent in from one of the Sasuga Tips for You readers, and she's also a listener of the Sasuga podcast. So she's actually been starting to use boundaries in her life so that she's not working too late. She wrote, though, that recently she's been receiving these phone calls late in the evening, kind of 10 o'clock up to midnight, and also through the day from a particular person, and she's not so sure what to do about this and whether to tell the person. So the simple answer is yes, tell the person your boundaries. So one of the biggest causes of miscommunication and frustration in the workplace is that people don't tell each other what they want and what they don't want. So we have this Japanese concept of ishin denshin, and that's a beautiful thing, but how often do you really see that working in the global workplace? And I have a few cars and things going past me here. It doesn't work in the global workplace a lot of the time because people have different backgrounds. You've got global colleagues, so different backgrounds, different cultures, different assumptions about what is appropriate and what is not appropriate. So the answer is yes, tell the person your boundaries, and even more important, tell them why. Use the word because. And the reason for that, because, is that when you do that, people are more likely to pay attention. And there's a little Japanese chap coming, he looks very interested in what I'm doing. That's kind of funny. Okay, so you'll get people to pay more attention when you say because whatever. And as research demonstrates this, if you go back to, this is a long time ago, 1978, in the days when we used photocopiers a lot, there was research done at Harvard University. And it was very interesting to see how the words that people used made a difference for whether they, with other people, would let them cut into line when there was a long queue at the photocopier. So they had 3 different tests. And the first one, they said, may I cut in line, or whatever it was, may I cut in line. And 60% of the time, people did let the person cut into line. So some very nice people there at Harvard University. Then the next question was, okay, if they said, may I cut in line because I'm in a rush? In that case, when they used that because and said I'm in a rush, 94% of the time people let them in. So it jumped up from 60% up to 94%. And then a really, really interesting one is that when people said, can I cut in line because I want to make a copy, which is a really obvious thing, even with that, just because they use that because, 93% of the time people let them cut in. So it's a very little difference from giving a legitimate reason to giving a, not such a convincing reason. This, by the way, the research went on and found that if it was a bigger ask, a bigger request, then people weren't as likely to say yes if it wasn't a strong because. When it's that small level, though, using because, even for something that is not so convincing, is actually really, really effective. So the answer to the question, which was, should I tell people my boundaries? The answer is yes, so that they know, and also use because people are more likely to pay attention. All right, so if you have found this valuable, please like, share, or comment, because that helps me to know what's valuable for you and I can bring you more of this type of content. And also, if you've got questions for Ask Helen Live in the future, you can contact me via social media, and you can also contact me via email, info@sasugacommunications.com. I almost forgot my own business. info@sasugacommunications.com. All right, thanks for listening. Make it a brilliant and joyful day. See ya.